you all please gather around and kind of just get comfortable? I'm going to start the program. My name is Pablo Ortiz. I'm currently serving as the president of the Oxnard Downtowners, and on behalf of the Friends of Heritage Square, I would like to welcome everybody here to the Time Capsule viewing. You know, about 25 years ago, we had a group of people that came together and came up with the concept of right underneath the water tower, putting a time capsule in there with great items from back then. I know that in 1985, this beautiful Heritage Square was a concept that maybe some people of this beautiful square in the middle of downtown Oxnard, in the middle of Oxnard, you will find that it is pure joy and amazement in what they see. I was commenting tonight to a couple of people about comments that I have received from people that have visited the Heritage Square in Pasadena, right off the freeway, kind of on the border of LA, Pasadena, and it doesn't compare to what we have right here in downtown Oxnard. This is absolutely beautiful. And we've had many investors over the years that have committed their support to this beautiful square. As you know, during the summer we have wonderful summer concerts that go on for 10 weeks. This past year it was 12 weeks because they're so popular. If you haven't been to one, I highly encourage you to come. Ladies and gentlemen, tremendous Italian restaurant, La Dolce Vita, Rancho Ventavo Cellars, which is a magnificent winery, and a beautiful public domain, the chapel, where many people use it for meetings and other gatherings. And of course, many people over the years have also had their weddings here. This is a magnificent venue, and tonight we are here to see part of that historical trajectory of 25 years unveiled in the form of what was buried 25 years ago. I suggest to you that it may be interesting to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that were so popular back then as one of the items that were buried 25 years ago. And we'll see who that is. It wasn't you, Tim. So that's of interest. Also, what was the general plan? What did it look like for 2020? We'll get a chance to see that. And I'm not going to tease you with any more of the items because they're going to be unveiled in just a few moments. But I really felt that as part of what we do here tonight to honor the unveiling of this time capsule is to recognize some of the people that have been involved with it over the years. But before I even do that, I would like to, as I mentioned already, say hello to our dignitaries that are here tonight, and the mayor of the city of Oxnard, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Tim Flynn.
Thank you very much, Pablo. I wanted to say quickly that as a kid growing up in Oxnard, there are several of these homes that I remember. I remember the church and its old location, and I believe it's the Scarlet House, right back there where the winery is. One of my paper route customers used to live there. And that home, if I'm not mistaken, was right next door to the current Oxnard Police Department. I can't remember the exact address because I still, being a paper boy, I delivered the Ventura County Star. And the Star, obviously, its competitor was the Press Courier. So if you were a boy delivering papers, and you had the Press Courier, you had maybe 6 streets because every single household got the Press Courier. But if you had the Ventura County Star, my route was half the city of Oxnard because they considered it the Ventura paper. But anyway, at this home here lived a lawyer, and his name was John H. Todd. John H. Todd. And he dressed in a 3-piece suit. And he had one of the watches that would, a chain and a watch that would go in there, because I used to ask him a lot of times, Mr. Todd, could you please tell me what time it is? And he'd whip out that watch. I just liked how he did it, and he opened it up. And so I have great memories as a kid, and the fact that these homes were preserved showed a lot of vision on the part of the city council, and I'm very grateful not only that they made that decision, but that this is arguably one of the most beautiful venues anywhere in Ventura County, maybe even in the state of California. So let's just give Heritage Square a round of applause. Can we please, Heritage Square? So I have a certificate of commendation, and given all the real stressful events that have taken place in the city of Oxnard over the past couple of months, this is a joy. This is why, this is wonderful. This is the fun stuff. And this is a certificate of commendation that I'd like to present to the Downtown Oxnard Merchants Association. And I'll go ahead and read it now. Whereas the City Council and the City of Oxnard present the certificate of commendation to the Downtown Oxnard Merchants Association in celebration of the 25th anniversary of Heritage Square, and in anticipation of the opening of one of the original time capsules buried there in 1991, and extend best wishes for continued success. So I'd like to present this here to a man who I think under all circumstances can make everybody feel happy, Pablo. So congratulations, another round of applause, please.
Thank you very much, Tim. Excellent. Oh, yes.
I have to stand on my tippy toes with Pablo anyway. People are gonna, wow, he's not that short after all. Anyway. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Our mayor of the city of Oxnard, ladies and gentlemen, Tim Flynn. Thank you so much. Let's see how good I am at helping everyone here that is involved with this feel that this is really theirs and not the downtowners. Why do I say that? Well, because 25 years ago, it was the Friends of Heritage Square that here in this very place put together this beautiful homage, if you will, to what we did here with Heritage Square. And I believe that we have a lady here that can speak to that beautifully. And I'd like her to come up. But before I do, just let me also recognize a couple of other people that are here, that are dignitaries. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the Downtown Oxnard, the ODIT, the Oxnard Downtown Improvement District, Mr. Juan Gonzalez. Juan and his partner, Richard Francis, own the building right adjacent to this one in the front facing A Street, and where they have their law offices, Francis and Associates. Also representing the organization that has been working tirelessly to help our downtown with their vision and growing, and helped us to bring a charrette into town, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Roy Prince. Also from the city of Oxnard, ladies and gentlemen, our community development director, Kimberly Horner. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present it at this time, recently installed last night at the City Council, our new fire chief, ladies and gentlemen, Darwin Gates. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chief. Appreciate you being here with us. Did I miss anybody? I didn't see you, Chief. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, also recently installed this year, and homegrown, home-raised right here in Oxnard, our newest police chief, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Chief. Thank you, Chief. I got tongue-tied. You know what happens to the best of us. Beg your pardon?
Public Works Director Dan Reichert's in the house.
Thank you very much, Dan. Why don't you take a bow, Dan? Our Public Works Director. Thanks very, very much. I appreciate it. That's not bad when you're not working from a list, you know. And now that I've introduced you to some of our dignitaries, I'd like to introduce you to a lady that can speak to what we're doing here tonight probably as good as anybody. She's been with the Friends of Heritage Square this entire time, was here back then. Ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause to Flora B. Flora, come on up and say hello. Oh, Heather is important, but you have some words that I think you can share with us here about what went on back then and what does it mean today, what we're doing here.
The beginning, I came in, I saw an ad in the paper, they needed docents, and it was in 1996, I believe, and so I called, and Gary says, yeah, you can come down, because that's how I started. And we had no president, no association or anything. It was just, we had two sisters that had started with the square, were doing all the tours. And they would come down they could do a tour in 15 minutes. Because they didn't go into any houses, they just went around. So it was just great. Then when we started our organization and we had board members, we had members that wanted to work. We were down to no money in 2001 after the 2000, the towers crash. But then we all took on jobs ourselves, every board member, every member, I should say, because we only had about 30-some members at the time, and we probably don't have any more than that right now. So that's where we progressed, and we're just coming along. So.
Tell me one more thing. What does this mean to you personally?
I love the square. I had a gentleman personally, we did, when we have tours, they came in from that side gate. They were coming from Santa Barbara, the recreation department, and they came in and we stood there and did like New Orleans. We clapped for them and sang to them. And they said, oh, this is really nice for Oxnard. I said, I love Oxnard, you know, so that's what it really means to me. I love the square.
Well, God bless you. Thank you very much. I appreciate everything you've done for us for the past 25 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Flora B. You know, I love Oxnard too. Ever since I came here, I fell in love with Oxnard, and I just jumped right in and with both feet, both hands, and I've been just trying to do everything I can to support and help. And I got to tell you, with people helping me all along and encouraging me to be part of it and participating, I have to give kudos to my colleague Gary Blum, who has always been there for me, and I hope I've been there for him when he needed me. He asked me not to call him up, but that's because he's just shy, you know. but within that shyness of his, I got to tell you that there's very few people that I can pinpoint that can, over the last 25 years, you can say has been there year after year, month after month, to support the organizations here in downtown Heritage Square, part of the original downtown improvement district, always part of the marketing committee of that district, and just so many things. And this year he's taken on 10 different things, and the pressure has been tough, but he's still putting it together. And thank you so much, Gary, for all that you do for us. Indeed.
Hey, Pablo?
Yes, sir.
I have to say something about the volunteers.
Absolutely. Come on over here. I know you did.
Thank you. I am sorry that I forgot to mention the volunteers that really make this place the way it is. Obviously, structures can't speak, they can't tell the stories that these volunteers that have been here tirelessly, you know, for free, not working for income, donating, giving back to the city. I think it's so remarkable what they've done. So let's give them a round of applause. Can we please? Thank you. I'm so appreciative of your work and your efforts, and I hope that the City Council, too, when it comes to the future about what we do here at this beautiful square, that we can continue supporting Heritage Square every single way we can. Although I know it's a nonprofit, and you know, I understand this budgeting thing is very difficult, but we want to support the volunteers as much as we can, and we really appreciate all of your hard work. Thank you.
Amen.
And Michael Cabezas, the world's best photographer, we forgot to mention him. Let's give him a round of applause, can we?
Amen. He's always there, capturing probably items for the next time capsule. Yeah, as a matter of fact, now that I'm speaking of that, I can say that I think that that's part of the plan, right? To do the second segment, to complete a 50-year cycle. So maybe some of your photographs can go in there. That would be kind of cool.
Yes, it would.
Well, that may be true, but at least we will have captured this moment, and maybe that would be a great photo. Some of the shots that you're taking here tonight at the unveiling of the first 25 years. I definitely want to thank, ladies and gentlemen, their involvement with this, because of without the city of Oxnard, we wouldn't be here. You know, they had this. This was their land. This was originally all their domain. Little by little, it's been parceled out, if you will. That's the correct terminology. But the city of Oxnard continues to be a big part of this, and I want to thank them for everything they've done to continue to support this beautiful, beautiful cultural icon that we have here, Heritage Square. And in addition to that, I will say that our Heritage Square property owners are also very key, because over the years, they are the ones that have come in and invested and bought some of the properties, maintained them, helped support the whole. And so I want to give a round of applause to the city of Oxnard and our property owners. Yay. And I think that it would be appropriate at this time to ask someone that 25 years ago was part of the marketing team at an advertising agency named Revelations Advertising, back with an old friend of mine, Ruth Bernstein Ballin, that is, oh gosh, she was so a big part of my life with the Salsa Festival, and also with 2 or 3 other ladies that were part of that team. And one of those ladies is here with us tonight, and I'd like her to share some of her impressions from back then and what it might mean to her today. And she's here, so it has to mean something. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome up to the microphone, Linda Silvestri, formerly of Revelations Advertising. Thank you, Linda.
Hi, this won't be very long, because actually I only heard about this about an hour before it started, and my husband and I heard about it and we got very excited, because 25 years ago we were a big, I wouldn't say a big part, but we were a part of this vision. I mean, I remember it being a concept. And it seemed like a crazy concept too, you know, just like, really, you're going to be like moving houses? I mean, I remember seeing houses, some of these houses being driven down the street, and it was nutty. And so anyway, I worked for Revelations Advertising. We did a lot of the marketing for, you know, the events that led up to it and afterwards. And I just remember, the one thing I remember is this gal that we hired to do the paintings. I don't remember her name. Gary remembers her name. But, you know, the houses were just like in all different forms of disrepair. And, you know, there was all these plans for the colors and what they were going to look like. And this woman painted them. You can see them in the church. She did a beautiful job, and they look exactly like those pictures. So it's amazing. Anyway. I'm really excited, and it's wonderful to see how much it means to all of you guys, and 25 years later, how this is such a wonderful, meaningful thing to the city, and that's all.
Thank you so very much. Appreciate it very much, Linda Silvestri. I know that we have other people, Tom, Kay, Heather, that are Heather, where are you, Heather? Come up here, Heather. Heather is the current president of the Friends of Heritage Square. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for Heather Behrens?
All right, I'm not really the president, but that's okay. I'm their coordinator, yes.
What are you?
I am their coordinator.
Okay, that's good, like
But
president to me.
it's good enough to be president. I would love to have that title someday.
Thing is, maybe you see how full on it. But here's the left. That.
Thank you, Gary.
Madonna. Yeah. Newspapers for the city, I believe, from 25 years ago, but they just been unveiled. I'm excited to go over to the table and
And enjoy the items that we have to share with you tonight. And I am very thankful to the docents that are here and the City of Oxnard and of course the association that all take care of us. And I want to know, I've only been here for 11 years, but during that time I've really come to have a fondness for it. And it was something that I had no idea I was going to be part of now, and I'm excited to be here. So thank you, and thank you to the City of Oxnard again for being so helpful with us. Thank you.
Tom, how about you coming up and say a few words, my friend? This gentleman is always here looking as dapper as you see him now in his vintage clothing representing the Victorian style of these beautiful homes. Tom, what do you have to say to us?
I've been here as a docent for a few years now, and I've had a lot of fun talking about the history here and leading tours and the culture and everything. Tim said earlier that the buildings don't speak, but docents can tell the story, and we try to do that here. And I think over the years we've had a lot of people appreciate the information that we've given out. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. And people talk about historical preservation. Well, you can talk about it, but this is the reality. Heritage Square is the reality of historical preservation.
Indeed, preservation of our history. I'm a history buff. I'm sure many of you out here are history buffs too. I just love history, and I'm privileged to be here and to participate with you, Tom, and the rest of the team. And I'm really honored. I think you guys are awesome. My dear, would you come up and say a few words? Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to Kay, right?
Connie.
Oh, Connie. I'm sorry, Connie. She's Kay, of course.
So, hi, can you hear me? So I got involved here almost 20 years ago when I was teaching third grade in Oxnard. And in Oxnard, at the time, when you went to third grade, and actually all over the state of California, you were supposed to study local history. And I was a third grade teacher, and there was nothing to teach local history with. So I walked down the block from the district office, and I found Heritage Square. And I've never left it. I love it. I wrote a book about Oxnard history for the third graders, which of course featured Heritage Square and the families who lived in these beautiful buildings. So if you would just take a second, to just look around at these beautiful buildings that we love, and it's not just the buildings, it's the history, it's the family, it's Oxnard that we love. And that's why we're here. So for almost 20 years, I've been telling people about the 2 time capsules back here and how we're going to open one in 2016. And when I first started, I couldn't even remember the year 2016. It was so far off. And now here it is. It's here, and we're here, and we're about to see it all unveiled. And it's so exciting for me as a docent, as a lover of Oxnard and Oxnard history, and I know for my fellow docents, same thing. Before I stop, I just want to say what's already been said, but really, Heritage Square wouldn't be here without Gary Blum. And the Friends of Heritage Square, he's kept us going for years and years. And Heather Behrens has kept us going for as long as she's been here, and the city of Oxnard. We love you, and thank you.
God bless you, Connie. Thank you so much. I do appreciate those thoughts. And you know, it reminds me of that old saying about it takes a village. And this is what we have here. You know, at the beginning of that beautiful growth that Oxnard is going through right now, and all of you here are part of that. You're seeing the 25 years unfold. 25 years ago, we began a rough period here in Oxnard. That's about the time I arrived 22 or so years ago. And it was rough in downtown with the streets not operating correctly. They broke them down. They changed them. So many things occurred, and here we are now. We have a larger community, more people. We have more amenities for everyone. We've got the beautiful collection. Sure, they say it's competition to downtown, but guess what? It also brings people in, economy. And so the overall aspect of Oxnard is getting better. And tonight, we as a village can go out and talk about it and tell people, did you know that we have Heritage Square smack in the middle of downtown Oxnard? I certainly do that all the time. People say, you do? Check it out. You will be amazed, and they always are. So tonight, all of you have that opportunity to continue that legacy that was started 25 years ago. Is there anyone else that would like to share some words with us? Kay, would you like to come up? Okay, come on up, Kay.
So I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. I know this was last minute for some people to hear about the event, and I want to thank the Heritage Square docents for putting this on. But I would like to say a few words in terms of what the City Council did way back in 1994. This was a vision of your Oxnard City Council and its redevelopment agency to put together what we now call Heritage Square. And the City Council had the vision, and I think it was led by Bedford Pinkard, who was a council member at the time, to relocate homes that were throughout the Oxnard Plain and put them here at this one particular pad. So the homes were relocated from all throughout Oxnard Plain on behalf of the City of Oxnard and its redevelopment agency, and I believe Mayor Lopez might have been the mayor at the time. And it was largely through the redevelopment effort that this all came about. Originally, the city owned about 12 of the 14 homes that are here, and then over time we sold the properties off to individual property owners. Back in 2011, the City of Oxnard had to, with the ending of redevelopment, we had to look at the properties that we now own, and we're putting some up for sale. But through the efforts of the City Council, our successor agency, we're able to hold on to the church that we have here in the back, and we are also able to hold on to another one of our properties here behind me, which is the Visitor Center. So in addition to thanking the City Council for largely working very tirelessly to preserve Heritage Square and to hold on to the properties that are here to make this available to the public, I also want to thank Sal Fuentes, who largely is in charge of operating on behalf of the City of Oxnard the programs that we offer out here. And I also want to thank Gary Blum for all of his work as well. So again, on behalf of the city and on behalf of city staff, I want to say thank you.
And thank you so very much, Kim. We really appreciate that historical perspective, because that was missing. You know, that little element, Kim, that you just brought up was missing, and that was very special. Thank you so much. Please, of course. This is Carol, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Carol Porto, and I'm a docent here. I moved to Oxnard in December of 1999, and I saw advertised in the newspaper about their Christmas programs and about old homes. And I'm interested in old homes in Victorian era, and so I came and I got hooked. I said, I want to do this. I want to be a docent. I want to
never be able to tell, could you?
I want to dress up in all those clothes and tell everybody about this place. So I've been a docent since 2000, and even though I'm not a native, I love telling them about the people who lived here in these homes, about the homes, how they, what they are made of, the architecture, and it's just been wonderful. And I call this my oasis. I tell everybody who comes here, this is the oasis of the city of Oxnard. And it's just, I love it, and I hope to keep doing it for many, many more years.
Bravo, and I have to second that because check it out, we have the palm trees. So it's perfect. Hi, come on up, ladies and gentlemen, Tiffany Lopez. Oh my gosh, Tiffany has been so involved in so many aspects of our city, and of course she has a perspective that might come from Dad. Oh, good, good.
Hi, good evening. I'm just here representing my father, Dr. Emmanuel Lopez. He wanted to come today, but he just got new hearing aids, so he said his ears are a little sensitive, but he really wanted me to take pictures of the capsule, and he's very, very supportive of the Heritage Square, and he would actually, Gary was just telling me, and I remember my dad telling me the stories that he would come on his lunch break, or his office is in downtown Oxnard, but he would come and watch the construction of Heritage Square, and he's told me all the stories and history of the homes of the Walharts and the McCarthys and other homes that were brought over to Heritage Square, and it's such rich history in Oxnard. My grandpa used to work on the Donlin Ranch, and just driving all around Oxnard, and especially in downtown, my father would always tell me stories. So it's really close to our family. My dad was, I believe, the mayor, or I think he became mayor in 1992, but I know the dedication was in 1991. But it's very close to our family, and I'd like to thank Gary and Sal and the Friends of Heritage Square, Pablo, the downtowners, and especially I know all the hard work the docents do. This is going to be my third year being a trolley guide for the downtown Holly Trolley. I really love it, and we love coming here, and all the residents and people from out of town, from the county that come, they really do enjoy coming here. I
appreciate the volunteers, the docents. This is great. And just on my bicycle, I never made it further than the library, but the Oxnard Library, which is the service high. But once I started working here in 1990, I discovered this place, and it is a very, very sweet spot. So we appreciate your guys' willingness to step up and volunteer. And when I was thinking about 1991, and we're going to open up a time capsule to me is like, that's like years past, and like before I was born, and I was actually working in 1991. It just doesn't make me feel like a young buck anymore. But the one story that I remember from 1991, and it's something I can never live down within the police department. We're actually on bicycle patrol down in South Oxnard, and please don't videotape this, anybody. We made contact with two guys at a liquor store because they were acting suspicious in a car, and 1991, it is good story. So anyways, thank you guys for being here.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate you giving me fodder for you next time. Chief Bates, did you want to say something by chance?
How can I top a possum?
You don't have a possum story? Long hours, and I dedicate a lot of my hours also to helping the community that I serve, and I sometimes forget to tell the most important person in my life about what's going on. And so I want to give credit to my wife, Julianne, for always being there for me and supporting me at every event. Thank you, sweetheart. To start perusing them and enjoying them, and wine and water, and to also sign our book. If you haven't signed our guest book, please do so. It's part of the vitality of what our Friends of Heritage Square do for keeping the historical culture.